Good evening, everybody, and welcome tonight to the broadcast. I've got so much going on, I don't even know which way I'm coming or going. Here's what I want to do tonight, and very, very simple. It is Sunday night, 9:05 Eastern, 6:05 Pacific. It is 4:05 a.m. in Ukraine. And today is day 39 in a row that we have streamed each evening. And today is a day of truth. Here's what I'm going to tell you or ask you. You guys need to call your friends right now and tell them to watch the program tonight. Today is going to be, this evening is going to be the most important program that we have done. In fact, I did not expect to see this guy in here. I thought he was sleeping. It's been a very, very difficult day. You got audio? I mean, we didn't even test. He just met. I
Yeah,
just looked over here and he
absolutely.
was
Hello,
here.
hello, my family.
Hello, brother. So, Zhenya, we did not prepare anything, but I'm prepared. So, you're going to just go with me on the fly. Are you here for the hour tonight, or are you here checking in to say hi? We really didn't prepare that. I just happened to
I'm
look
okay.
over here and I see his face smiling at me, and then my phone buzzes and he goes, "Hey." Well, I'm asking people tonight to share this. And Zhenya, when you get off, I know everybody in Ukraine watches tomorrow, but I'll be honest with you. I'm not happy tonight. Today,
Me either.
the truth has really come out about Bucha. And we've already known it. We've been talking about it. I've been very reluctant to show anything. But I can tell you tonight, I am going to show. I'm going to show it at the end of the program, the last couple of minutes. I will pre-warn everybody, and that'll be at the very end. And if you do not want to watch it, or you just say I can't handle it, that's okay. I will warn you. It will be at the very end of the program. But we have to get the truth out. You know, Zhenya, you said last night that the next 3 or 4 days could be very, very important for where we're going in the war. And we're going to talk about it. I'm just going to go with the program I have scheduled. In fact, I've got to change one thing here. Why don't you just tell people hi, and then I'll guide you through. I've got to bring in the document. Because I didn't
Okay.
know you were going to be here. So you do your thing,
Okay,
and
that's
let me
okay.
set a couple things up.
Okay, couple things. Uh, Today in our today is Sunday, and our like Sunday's meeting. I was sharing and we were talking about that and I pray that God He sent His church, and it's as His representing presence, He representing as His messengers on the earth. His will what the church would be on the place where there is problems,
Mm-hmm.
where there is a pain, where there is healing, where there is the answer from Him when He wants to be with people. So surely I believe that the church has to see what you're gonna show.
I agree with
Because
you, and
it
I'm going
is
to show it. And I'm asking people right now, I'm telling you, I'm going to do everything I can to share tonight's program once I'm finished, once we're finished, Xenia. And I lost a friend today. Confirmed. I've met this guy quite a few times at Reshetinsky's. He's one of the guys laying dead in the streets in Bucha. You know Max Smirnov in
I've heard him.
Kyiv? Okay, these are very good friends of mine with Reshetinsky. And the stinking video that I'm going to show tonight, my friend's laying in the street. Didn't know it. I just found out 90 minutes ago when Valery Alamov told me. Let's start here, bud. So,
Yes.
I have no jokes to tell. I have nothing. But we're just going to tell the truth. And I'm asking you right now, share this thing, hit the like buttons. I don't get anything from it. We're just trying to get the message out. And call everybody and tell them to watch. Because you're right, Xenia. These next few days are going to be very important, and you're going to turn out to be prophetic. So let's start here, bud. I think I got it set up now. Look, this is a church in Appomattox, Virginia. You have started something, the heart. So, hearts from Appomattox, Virginia, back to you. These are people, churches, individuals that have supported financially, that watch the program, and they send their love. I want to go now. There it is, coming back to you guys. So this is what we're looking at today, folks. Basically, throughout the entire day, it's been air raid sirens going off, and I custom made this little map here. Everywhere that is in the red explosion symbols has either had strikes. I mean, if you look even in Western Ukraine, Rovna, Ternopil, Ivano-Frankivsk, of course, you see Khmelnytsky there with the heart. That is where Xenia is right now, somewhere in that city. And Kyiv.
Ivano-Frankivsk, you can skip. You can skip Ivano-Frankivsk.
Yes.
It's not confirmed officially.
I know it's not confirmed. We're waiting, but I colored it because we're waiting. Ternopil's confirmed. Rovna's confirmed. Kyiv's confirmed. Odessa's confirmed. Mykolaiev's confirmed. Kherson's confirmed. Mariupol's confirmed, and Kharkiv is confirmed.
Correct.
So they're just tearing it up. Now, the next colors I put up is the green boxes. These are my drawings. I want to start from the left at the bottom. And all of this is going to point to where we're going tonight. First green box on the left is representing the Transnistria, or that strip of land I've been teaching you guys about, where Russia controls that territory. It's between Moldova and Ukraine. The problem is it's very strategic, as you can see, for facilitating attacks back to the east towards Odessa or Mykolaiv, or even going north. I mean, this is all regions that Xenia and I've spent a lot of time, of course. Then the green box at the bottom is territory that's occupied right now in the south. Of course, Crimea is annexed, stolen, and then all of the southern regions there below Mykolaiv, bumping up against Odessa, Kherson, pushing up below Zaporozhye. I really didn't even take that box high enough because Energodar is occupied. And then wrapping around to Donbass, the green box on the right. And then the green box at the top right is where they've pushed into Ukrainian territory up to Sumy, of course, Kharkiv, and General Staff today. I'm not reading any of that. They came out today and they just said, we know that they are coming hard for Kharkiv, Lugansk, even though Lugansk is already taken from the separatists. Still, they want to decimate it. Donetsk, Zaporozhye, Mariupol, of course, in the bottom, and then wrapping around Kherson, they have Mykolaiv and Odessa. So General Staff already came out. And then the last pink box I have at the top. And we've been doing this 39 days, so I feel I can, we can speak intelligently about this. Yes. The Russian troops have pulled back and rotated, but we'll talk about that in a moment. But folks, there's nothing left. There's nothing for them to occupy. They butchered people. They leveled cities. Why do they need to stay there? Folks, it's so bad that when they left, they mined everything. Ukraine is struggling right now to even recover dead bodies because they have to grab them with a chain, and I'm not showing any of this, and then pull them and make sure there's no detonations of the mines. So this is all through that northern region of Kyiv, Chernobyl, Slavuch, Chernigiv, over to Sumy. I'm calling that a soft zone because it's destroyed. I want to show a picture now, Jeka, and we're going to talk more about this. This is my friend right here. I've met several times in Kyiv. You probably recognize the picture of Max. But Vitaly Vinogradov lost his life in Bucha. Young fella. He was killed. He was murdered. He's a minister and a man of God, and he was serving people, and he was shot in the street and ran over. If you want to know. So I think your prophetic words last night or 2 nights ago, whatever it was, 2 nights ago, that the next 4 or 5 days are going to be very important, but it's not going to be just about the military response. I think even more importantly now, Zhenya, it's going to be about the world response. And nations are already doing things, folks. I'm going to give you some stuff in just a few moments. This can't continue.
Okay. May I enter something in here?
You can talk all you want, bud. You surprised me by hopping in. We'd have been more prepared. But you were pro.
It would be impossible to imagine it just a time ago. All of this Bucha massacre.
Zhenya, do you know many times when we would come from Zhytomyr, from Khmelnytsky, and we would go to Kyiv, okay? But we were going to visit family, and this, I know I've been all these places many times, and it was with you because, let me go here, pull this up. Man, it just dawned on me tonight when I was preparing. So when we would come into Kyiv and you would say, I'm taking a shortcut, we're coming in on the Zhytomyr road, and then, man, you would cut across through Irpin, Bucha, we'd wrap around the north, and we would be over here in this region when we had to go to the north, because I knew Bucha and Irpin, and then I'm seeing the pictures and the buildings. I'm going, man, I know that area. Then it dawned on me, but man, you're only talking, it's 14 miles from Maidan. It's Kyiv. It's just a suburb of Kyiv. So you were going to say that couldn't even think about this a while back.
And yes, not just that, Greg. And it wouldn't be possible to me and other people to imagine in the first few days of the war that the world, which is quite good informed at this moment, would be choosing the side of aggressor openly. And
you're right.
And more than that, that in the capital city of Germany, after 39 days of war and raping, killing Ukrainians, kids, having safari on the girls, and in the Ukraine there will be hundreds of cars with Russian flags just affirming their position in Europe openly.
So
driving there, and it will be protected by police, by European, by German police.
So
and it will be the same. Sorry, it will be the same on the Cyprus and other places.
Jacob,
sorry.
Did you and I plan to do this program together tonight?
No.
Did we have any pre-discussions?
No.
We did not. But we're brothers. We think alike. Today in Berlin, Germany, on the 39th day of the war, there were 5,000 cars parading for Russia on the day that all the information went extremely public about the genocide in Bucha and Irpin and Mariupol and other regions. On the same day that all of this goes public, this is what Zheka is referring to.
С этой и с другой стороны люди едут.
Folks, that parade goes on for miles and miles and miles. Folks, how about this? Cyprus, on the same day. Carrying the Z signs, man. Singing the Soviet hymns.
No, it's Second World War.
The Second World War,
Second World War, about the Soviet troops song. When
Correct.
they were fighting
Hymn
against fascism.
Yeah, same thing. Yes. You're right. Hey, how about tonight in Lithuania? And we're going to talk about Lithuania in a minute. At the basketball game where Lithuania comes out and says, stop the war. And the referees are holding it. And the Serbian basketball team stands there and then they get booed. This is in Lithuania tonight.
Because they didn't want, they denied to hold Ukrainian flag.
Correct.
The Lithuanians said yes, and Serbians, seems to me, said no.
Correct.
We will not hold Ukraine. We will not support Ukraine.
Well, we're going to talk about that more in a minute, but look. And it goes on and on and on, and the crowd goes crazy with them. So, yeah, it's where we're at. Klitschko came out today, Zhenya, and he said the people of Kyiv, and hey, you and I have been there by that sign. That's in Maidan. The people of Kyiv who left the city are not yet advised to return to the capital. Now it is still dangerous here. Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko, in an interview with Gordon, Klitschko advises to wait at least another week, after which it will be possible to make a decision about returning the capital. In addition, the mayor of Kyiv stressed that he did not believe the statements of the invaders about the withdrawal of troops. This is what I'm saying, everybody's saying. According to him, it's not worth taking the word that they left plans for the assault because the capital was Putin's goal. We understand that you want to go home, but wait a little more. This is for your own safety. And that's what I'm talking about when we talk about the softening up and then the attacks in other areas. If they roll back through, the ground's already destroyed. The cities are destroyed. It'll be a different ball game. Zhenya, today as well, the updated numbers were 23,000 kilometers of roads destroyed in Ukraine. 273 bridges. Folks, just think about that. Now, I know for those of you watching in the United States, yeah. How about this one? This comment, JDO. I can see who the aggressor is all the way from the United States. How can the Europeans not see it? Propaganda. The power of propaganda. It's real. 23,000 kilometers. Jacob, that's, you're Ukrainian. Guys, that's 14,200 miles of roadways. Basically, you could drive from New York to San Francisco 5 times almost. And that's how much of the roadway systems are destroyed. Plus 273 bridges. One more piece of infrastructure, Jania. 50% of Ukraine's pharmacies are presumed to be closed because of just health workers being displaced and unable to work properly. And, you know, to answer that question about propaganda, I have a picture here of a Japanese flag Japan came out today, and in their government, they created an anti-propaganda department because the propaganda coming out of Russia is so strong, it's beginning to affect the Japanese people and the Japanese mentality, where they're beginning to have questions about what is going on. Now, folks, I need to show you something here, right here. You think that, and hey, while I'm drawing my blue line tonight, Zhenya, can you greet? We have our first refugees here in Pennsylvania from Reshetlovka, Poltava Oblast. Would you mind greeting them in Ukrainian? They're watching tonight.
Вітаю, рідненькі. Тримаймося і віримо в перемогу. І стоїмо разом з нашими.
I know one thing.
Віримо нашому Богу.
We're going to have victory. So
Да.
here's Ukraine. All right. С Крым. С Lugansk. С Donetsk. Все наш земля. All of the regions. All right. Now, Japan started an anti-propaganda movement against Russia. And people go, my goodness, why is Japan worried about this? Where is Japan anyway? People are asking it. And folks, Japan's right here. You're going, okay, PG, I have no clue. Why on earth is Japan worried about this? Folks, because let me tell you why. Because that's Russia. And this disputed territory here on the Kuril Islands is right here. So when you think Japan's way over there, they're not. Vladivostok is right here, major Russian city. And the world's not that big, folks. The world is not that big. So that's the power of propaganda. And Zhenya, one last thing, and then we're going to get into the Bucha. Let me do this here. In the next 48 to 72 hours, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, and Poland are going to completely close their borders with Russia and Belarus. When you begin to, and let me ask you about this, Zhenya. When you begin to take all of these pieces of the puzzle, we know Russia is building up in the east like crazy. We know that basically at any moment, air raid sirens or attacks can come in any place in Ukraine, not just the east, anywhere. They've proven that. When we see the troop movements through Belarus, and then today, the truth is really let out to the public and to the world about the genocide around Kyiv. And listen, we can't even talk about Mariupol yet. We don't have a clue, but we can talk where we're at right now.
It's worse.
It's worse, absolutely. But we can't say that, until we know it's worse, until we can show it. And you and I have been talking about Bucha for a week, but we didn't share it until today. It really went public. You take all of that. You take Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland closing borders. You have support in Germany, 5,000 cars for Russia, Cyprus, basketball games. You have governments under pressure because they see the genocide and Putin is still in power. Everybody's calling to do something, but nobody's doing anything. So We're just letting it happen. I don't see how it can continue. And with all this information coming out about the genocide and how horrible it is, that does nothing but strengthen. I don't mean to make him stronger, but it makes Putin's desires to finish even stronger. Because now international leaders are calling for him to be arrested, to be put on to go and be gotten as the leader of Russia in the 21st century, who ultimately is responsible for this genocide. So it's crazy what we're looking at.
It's crazy, and it's crazy to see the reality that so many countries are proclaiming neutrality to that situation, when the people of its countries going on the streets and publicly crowds supporting Ukraine, their leaders saying and making statement, we are neutral. And for example, take our neighbors and people we love there, like we were ministering in Moldova. They're ministering to Ukrainians. Today, at the same time, they proclaim a minute of silence in the memory of Bucha. And same day they proclaim it, but we are neutral.
Mm-hmm.
This is reality. Okay, Serbia, Hungary is confirmed. Let's say Armenia, Georgia officially, Moldova, and not officially, but they are the countries who are like telling the nice thing, and it's like in a TV show, or like sometimes like a crazy thing. For example, the New Day and Ukrainians that day, they watching a new hundreds and thousands killed kids, women, and men, and destroyed. They smashed one more, and the other one, and the other one, villages and cities, and from the power countries, I would call them like that, there is the things which is repeating every new day. It's like, like one country telling like, hey, it's not possible to, we cannot be silent, we need to speak out. So today we proclaim that we're starting to do about more strong sanctions, and today we proclaim it's 88th level of disagreement and condemnation, and the next day it's the other country, yes, it's like today is the 89th level of condemnation and disagreement, we condemn it. What about Soviet airplanes to help them? No, we cannot help. It's yes, but he is murder. It's obvious they are like aggressor, and it's genocide of Ukrainians. How it is possible? And okay, the 3 days, 4 days, 2 weeks later, it comes again. Today we have, and we proclaim our country stand together with Ukrainians, and today is 255th level of disagreement, and we even more worse sanctions think about.
Zhenya, you and I have been saying since the war started, the sanctions are irrelevant. Okay, in the great things, but the truth is the ruble was the strongest currency in the world in the month of March. The sanctions, we've got folks, we have Hitler on the loose, and we're just letting it happen. This is what he's talking about. And Zhenya, you're right here. It's as if we prepared. Serbia's newly elected president, Alexander Vučić, on Russia. I can promise you that we will not throw Dostoevsky out of schools and Tchaikovsky out of the operas. Serbia will try to maintain partnership and friendly relations with Russia. This is like unbelievable. Absolute, but we're watching it right in front of our eyes. Zhenya had a good couple of comments here. Rick Berry said, I can't help but think of Hezekiah when everything looked hopeless. Our hope is only in God. So-called world leaders do not have the stomach, Panimash, okay, to face the Russian, Chinese, Iranian axis. I think it's a good comment. And also, how about this question here? What are locals doing for dead civilians as days continue to go by that are laying where they were murdered? Temporary burials? Do you want to answer it?
Yeah.
Or me?
You may.
Well, they can't bury them. Only after the military has confirmed that the dead bodies are not mined.
Yes.
Can they bury them?
In the other places, they were attacking all of these times when now people were trying to bury dead bodies, and they were trying to get to the cemetery. They were shelling, they were shooting, so people stopped trying it. And sometimes they couldn't.
At the very end of the program tonight, when I show the clips I've put together, just a small clip of Bucha, there's a clip in there, and I will preface it, but a lady had to bury her own daughter in the yard, and the young girl went out because she just heard stuff in the street. She went out to look, and she was killed right in the front yard. A defenseless little girl. The mother could not even bury her. All she could do was dig a hole deep enough to put her head in, cover it with boards. Her feet were laying out. It's indescribable. And it's 2022. Now, here's the big deal, Zhenya, and this is very interesting when you look at the big picture. Arms exports to Russia. The two biggest suppliers of arms selling to Russia in the last, between 2015 and 2020, which would have been during this war that started in 2014, was France and Germany. The two biggest suppliers. But other nations, Italy, Austria, Bulgaria, Czech, Slovakia, Spain, Croatia. This is just European countries. The quantity of arms they were selling to Russia. So folks, are you understanding the picture? We're trying to paint it clear, because not only many of these nations, now some of them are stopping. The Baltics, they're bold. They know what it's like to be under that iron curtain. Closing their borders, no more gas. But these nations like Germany, which are big and powerful, in fact, Zelensky spoke to them today. It's not just oil and gas, but they've actually been selling them arms for years and years and years. This is extremely complicated. But the problem is the complication should go off the table when you see genocide. This is not a military attack in a military. This is a military trying to erase a nation of people. This is not a war. This is a genocide that looks like a war. They're trying to erase Ukrainians. In fact, Peskov, Kremlin spokesman, was speaking yesterday or whatever, talking about how all Europeans have an extra chromosome, so they're not even worthy to be like the pure race of Russians. This is madness, just like World War II. That was all in Russian, but I didn't translate it, but it's what's being said, the power of this propaganda. So, Zhenya, let's get to there, and this is the background. Now, for the last 15 minutes of the program tonight, I want to move the focus to the genocide.
Please show it.
I'm going to show it, but I want to start with this. I want to start with Alexander Mereshko. He is a MP. He's a parliament member in Ukraine. Very, very smart guy. For you guys in America, that would be like a House of Representatives member or a senator. This is that kind of government level in Kyiv. This guy puts out a message today because the news is just starting to roll with this on an open way. This is very smart guy and very articulate in what he says. He says sanctions will not stop Russia, but he makes some very direct statements today about the genocide.
Dear friends, we are watching terrible pictures which are evidence of horrible crimes committed by Russian army against Ukrainian people, against Ukrainian civilian population. We see such crimes as murders of civilian people, absolutely innocent people, rapes, tortures, and other crimes committed in such brutal way, which raises a question: who could commit these terrible crimes? What kind of people are able to commit such horrible crimes? The question also arises regarding the legal qualification of these crimes committed by Russian army. We can qualify these crimes as war crimes. We can also qualify them as crimes against humanity because the committed crimes have widespread character and systematic character. Additionally, we can also qualify these crimes as bearing signs of genocide, which is crime of the crimes. And now the question is how to bring to justice all those responsible for these terrible crimes, beginning with the Russian leadership. And I'm sure that sooner or later, all perpetrators, all accomplices of these despicable crimes will be brought to justice and will be punished.
So that guy, he's like the director of the foreign committee. He's a powerful dude, very articulate. And of course, that was in English for you. He's spot on. Folks, when we first started doing this each night, Pastor Kent gave me some good advice. He says, listen, just make sure you've got it cleared and confirmed before you share it. And so I have really been doing my homework and spending lots of time in this, and because we have to get the truth out. But we've been sitting on this a few days, but the egg really got cracked open today about the genocide. Nations are going to have to make some major decisions. If not, we're just watching it happen. It's disgusting. It's hard to even talk about it tonight, folks. I think this changes everything. I want to talk a little bit, Zhenya, we'll go through these quickly, but just watch this now. After this stuff came out, here's what we have. Sergei Kuslusta, reminder to Putin's diplomats. Joachim von Ribbentrop, denied knowledge of German concentration camps and racial extermination policies, but was found guilty at the Nuremberg war crimes trials and was executed on the 16th of October, 1946. The Insider reported today. You want to read that?
Russia invited the meeting on like let's say because Ukrainian creates provocation with by Ukrainian radicals in Bucha. So they
are
state that
Ukraine.
It was faken.
Correct. Russia is opening a case before world councils such as the UN, stating that Ukraine did the genocide in Bucha. And this is happening right in front of our eyes, folks. Boris Johnson, he came out today. He said Russia's despicable attacks against innocent civilians in Irpin and Bucha are yet more evidence that Putin and his army are committing war crimes in Ukraine. He said no denial or disinformation from the Kremlin can hide what we all know to be the truth. Putin is desperate, his invasion is failing, and Ukraine's resolve has never been stronger. Boris Johnson continued. He said, I will do everything in my power to starve Putin's war machine. We are stepping up our sanctions and military support, as well as bolstering our humanitarian support package to help those in need on the ground. The UK has been at the forefront of supporting the international criminal courts in the atrocities committed to Ukraine, has authorized additional financial support and the deployment of special investigators. And there you can see Zhenya showing you the map.
Just to compare.
Exactly. It's 11 time zones versus 1. Now just continue, just check, watch. That was Boris Johnson. Here comes the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv coming out today. The images coming out of Bucha and other areas abandoned by Putin's forces are horrific. The U.S. government is committed to pursuing accountability using every tool available. We cannot stand quiet. The world needs to know what happened, and we all must act. Zhenya, here's my problem. You and I have known for a week about all of this, or even longer, and so has all of these nations, United States, Great Britain, France, Germany. They've all known it, but they wait until it gets really in the public to say something. They're not going to do anything, but they have to do something. Somebody's got to do something, man. Somebody.
It's
the image is coming out.
They've
known about it.
They known about, and people known about a long time ago. And I hate to say it, and I want to be wrong, but the world is waiting for more.
You're right. You're right.
For more sacrifice.
There's comments in here referring to 1975 Cambodian killing, about how other times during history has happened, and we're now going to just let it happen again in 2022. Bud, listen. I get the same stuff you get, or you load me up with stuff, or Ukraine and all these things that we're privy to. If we've known this for days and days and didn't want to share it until it was a confirmed way, and now the United States comes out, and I'm an American, so I can speak about the United States. I'm not a German. I'm not a Brit. I'm an American citizen who has worked my tail off in Ukraine. And the U.S. is going to come out in their embassy and say, the images coming out of Bucha and other areas abandoned, like, you didn't know? Come on. We have the greatest intelligence in the world, supposedly. Of course we knew. United Nations General
is-
Secretary. Jacob, he says the same thing. Look, I'm deeply shocked by the images of the civilians killed in Bucha. He's shocked. See, I just look at it a different way. Baloney, you're shocked, sir. You're the Secretary General of the United Nations. You absolutely have known. World leaders, government officials have absolutely known. You have more intelligence, you have more pictures, you have more satellite images. We're just people trying to serve God and do something and make a difference and raise money and help refugees. But we have known for a week. And you're going to come out as the Secretary General of the UN. You're going to come out as the American Embassy in Kyiv. You're going to come out as Macron, that I'm going to show you here. And you're just going to say, well, these images are shocking. Here is the European Union Council President. I'm shocked by the images coming out of Ukraine. Here's Emmanuel Macron, France. I'm shocked by the images coming out. Here's Antonio Guterres. It's like they're all saying the same thing. I am deeply shocked by the killing of innocent civilians. Check. The systematic killing of civilians committed by the fleeing Russian army is another disgusting war crime committed by Putin's regime. It's like the world is shocked. Baloney. The world is cowardly.
This is why I believe that this program, like you have, it's important, because Jesus, he was teaching us that you are the salt of the earth.
Yes.
And this is why church needs to see it and needs to hear it and needs to speak out, needs to pray. It needs to pray after watching, after seeing people's need, after seeing closely what's going on, and sharing. And the crime to the church, as for me, is to be, to be just ignoring.
The crime
This
is to be silent.
Yes.
And, there's many areas that the church in general struggles to touch in social issues. And, they have to try to make sure they're biblical and all of these issues and politics and all of that stuff. Man, take all of that and set it to the side right now. We are watching an extermination of people. And that
Demonic
is why.
revealing.
That is why we have to tell it. We have to tell it. Not only are we raising money to support the ministry, taking care of the needs of people. That is what the Bible says. Be the salt, be the light. But we can't just pray for them constantly and then send them a check. We need to help tell the truth and show the truth, still serving and doing everything we can do. But this is unacceptable. And we can only, it's like Zelensky said, it's like Zelensky said, one person at a time, keep sharing it, keep sharing it, keep sharing it. It's all we can do. In fact, I want to play a little clip of Zelensky, then I'm going to show Bucha. Here's Zelensky translated, just a little bit of his speech today, which was very powerful.
Я хочу, чтобы каждая мать, каждого российского солдата увидела тела убитых людей в Буче, в Ирпене, в Гостомеле. Что они сделали? Зачем их убили? Что сделал мужчина, который ехал по улице на велосипеде? Зачем пытали до смерти обычных мирных людей в обычном мирном городе? Зачем душили женщин после того, как вырывали у них из ушей серьги? Как можно было насиловать женщин и убивать их на глазах у детей? Издеваться над их телами даже после смерти. Зачем давили танками тела людей? Что сделал в вашей России украинский город Буча? Как это все стало возможно? Российские матери, даже если вы растили мародеров, то как они стали еще и палачами? Вы не могли не знать, что внутри у ваших детей. Вы не могли не заметить, что они лишены всего человеческого, нет души, нет сердца. Они убивали сознательно и с удовольствием. Я хочу, чтобы все руководители Российской Федерации увидели, как выполняются их приказы. Вот такие приказы, вот такое исполнение и солидарная ответственность за эти убийства, за эти пытки, за эти оторванные взрывами руки, которые лежат на улицах, за выстрелы в затылок связанным людям. Вот так теперь будет восприниматься российское государство. Это ваш образ. Ваша культура и человеческий облик погибли вместе с украинцами и украинками, к которым вы пришли.
He then goes on, and I have the full speech. And Zhenya, I mean, did you hear the full speech today? He speaks
Yes.
to the Ukrainian people. He speaks to the Russian people. He speaks to Europe. And he says, we're going to win. But the cost for this is unacceptable. And he even spoke about the nations that stand on the side and send an offering, for example. Thank you for that. But our people are being wiped off the planet. Who would have imagined it in 2022? That's a good one.
There was one request, and after making free the Bucha from Russian soldiers, two friends were calling. The other one was asking, "Okay, which things you want for me to send to you to help?" He says, "Okay, you can send that and that, but don't send baby food anymore, because there is almost no baby left." And the pastors, churches, kids, relatives, it could be me, could be Rostislav, could be Reshtinsky, our families. This is reality, so let's pray and do. So
But
I think it's
I did not expect you to see you tonight. I didn't even message you because I know, quite honestly, that day 39 has probably been the heaviest day yet. And it's not about the amount of bombs dropping. And although the battles are raging today, many of our cities were hit very hard. But there's just a lot of truth that came out today. And while the truth came out publicly, to see even these nations allow, for example, Berlin, we'll call them out, allow that kind of parade is just like a knife in your back. So, and then I find out a couple of hours ago that a guy I know was in Bucha. And the video I show, he's actually in a picture, man. He's one of those famous pictures laying on the sidewalk. It's him. It's unacceptable. I'm going to, We Are the Nation. Russell James says, call your congressman, call your senator. Zhenya, anything else you want to say? Because after this, I'm going to show this video. I'm done.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing the truth. The church is about telling the truth. Church is about calling the black is black and white is white. So thank you for doing it, and thank you for not trying to close your eyes and not to see the reality. So thank you for that. Thank you for support Ukraine. Thank you for praying for us, for our families, for our churches, for our nations, and for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, folks. I prefer, if I could ask you, would be to stay and watch. It's about 3 minutes long. I've clipped it together. I've edited it. If you've got small children, send them out of the room. That's fine. But if you are an adult, this is no different than what you watch at the movie theater. And I didn't edit anything, but I did watch out a little bit. I don't want the channel taken down, but we need to see this. Hello, Pastor Ghani. Megan. I see Megan's message there too. Everybody's giving you love, man. We love you, buddy. All right, folks. I think I've given enough time if you've made your decision to move on, but I'm going to show Bucha tonight.
Comment.
Сейчас я нахожусь в городе Буча. Вот стоит гражданский автомобиль, раздавленный, очевидно, танками. Внутри мертвый человек. И вот мы видим, да, перекресток. Это все автомобили гражданских, расстрелянные, сожженные, раздавленные бронетехникой. Погибли гражданские люди. Здесь видно, что российские военные преступники просто давили и убивали всех, кто попадался им на пути. Вот Таврия. И здесь прям человек, мертвый человек, которого раздавили прямо в этой машине. Вот он остался за рулем, его еще не достали.
А ось підвал в одному з будинків Бучі. В одному приміщенні окупанти влаштували собі казарму. В сусідньому ж розстрілювали мирних мешканців. Їхні тіла і досі тут.
Вот это колено, свои колена. Это Смельников. Сначала колено было, видишь, что с колена.
Зв'язали руки, поставили на коліна до стіни. Постріл в голову. І все. Людини більше.
All right, bud. I think we're done for day 39. Love you.
Go hug your kids and mothers and wives.
It's happening everywhere, too. It's not just Bucha, folks. That's just what's gotten out. We've got it all. It's happening everywhere, and it's got to stop. All right, I'm done for the night. This was a tough night. We love you. We support you. Man's still giving our hearts. Folks, we'll see you in 23 hours for day 40. You guys have a good night. And as Jania said, go hug your family. See you in 23 hours.